we are going to be looking at Lambda Function URLs, and we're also going to be focusing on how you can add authentication to these Lambda Function URLs so that the entire world isn't able to call your Lambda functions and put it on your tab so you get a huge bill at the end of the day. So we will get started, and what I'm going to do first is I'm at this AWS console page right here. I'm going to go to Lambda, and I'm going to click on this create function button right here that they give us. I'm going to give this thing a name. I'll call this a demo public Lambda. And I'm going to give this the Python 3.9 runtime. And I'm going to go here and I'll click on enable function URL. You can see that by default, AWS gives us, or they want you to choose IAM authentication. I'm going to choose none just for the sake of showing you guys how this thing works. Then we'll add some authentication to it. So I'm going to click on create function. I'm going to give this thing a moment to spin up. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here. I'm going to say hello from a public Lambda function URL. I'm going to click on deploy. I'm going to click on test. We're going to make a little test event right here. And I'm going to click on save. And then I'm going to test this guy again. And you can see that we are getting a response back from this Lambda function within the AWS console. And then if I click on this link right here, you can see that, if I share this with anyone out there right now, they can view this and go and put a Lambda charge on my account. So if I wanted to put some authentication on this guy, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the functions here, and we're going to create a new function. And I'm going to click on, or we'll give this thing a name, so it'll be a demo private Lambda. And then for the runtime, I'm going to select Python 3.9, same as last time. For the advanced settings, I'm going to click on enable function URL. And then this time I'm going to leave that option checked for AWS IAM. And we're going to click on create function. And we're going to give this thing another moment. And so now we can see that we've got our private Lambda function set up. I'm going to click on this code right here, and we'll say hello from a private Lambda function URL. I'm going to deploy these changes, click on test, give this thing a name. We'll call this the private test, and we'll save that. And then we'll click on test again. And you can see that we're getting a response from this console, but I want to be able to call my Lambda function from somewhere else. So what I'm going to do in my case, I'm going to create an IAM user that's going to let us actually do this. And I'll show you guys how I'm using Postman in order to supply those IAM credentials to make this call. So right now, we've got this private thing up and running, but if I click on this, you can see that we're getting a forbidden message this time. So we're not getting the expected response because we haven't provided any authentication when we've made this call. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to AWS, and I'm going to go to IAM, the Identity and Access Management Service. And just remember that we're in the US East 2 region as we go through these things. I'm going to click on policies, and I'm going to click on create a policy. And I'm going to go to the JSON editor because I like pain. And I've already written up the JSON that I want to provide for the policy that I'm going to be making in IAM. And the other thing I'm going to need to do, though, is I'm going to go back to my demo private Lambda, and our private Lambda will have an Amazon resource number, ARN, and we're going to copy that. I'm going to close this guy, and we're going to go back to our IAM tab. And so basically inside of the IAM policy, I'm going to tell IAM specifically which resource do I want to involve in these actions. So basically I'm describing what resource will be controlled. The action is telling me, what verbs can you do on this thing. So specifically what I need is the Lambda invoke function and the Lambda invoke function URL. You might be able to get away with just the Lambda invoke function URL, but I'm just going to go with this for now. But basically if you guys copy this policy, it's pretty straightforward, and we're just going to click on next, and I'm not going to put any tags on this, but I'm going to give this thing a name. So I'll call this the private Lambda policy. And if you're really good, you give it a description. So this is an IAM policy to allow users or roles to call a private Lambda function URL. going to click on create policy here, and we're going to remember this name. I'm going to copy that before it jumps to the next page. So I've made this policy, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to users, and I'm going to click on add user, and I'm going to call this the private Lambda function URL caller. Click on next, and then I'm going to click on attach policies directly, and I'm just going to paste in that name, and again, just double checking that it has the expected JSON in it. So we're specifically saying we're only going to be controlling this one Lambda function with it. So I'm going to say, yep, that's what I want to add. And then I'm going to click on next, and I'm going to then click on create user. And we can now see that we've got this private Lambda function URL caller user that we've just made. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to security credentials, and I'm going to then click on access keys, create access key. And basically, Amazon just wants you to acknowledge the fact that you should be doing an IAM role instead of an IAM user if you're going to be doing this in a production environment for the sake of security, but I'm just going to be okay with that for the sake of a demo. I'm going to skip adding any tags to this thing. And so now what I have is an access key. So I'm going to copy this guy, and I'm going to paste it there. I also have a secret access key, which I'm going to delete before anyone uses this. But I'm going to then copy that as well. So this specific combination of an access key and a secret access key is like a username and a password. That is how we're going to authenticate with AWS when we're trying to make calls to our Lambda function. So I'm then going to click on done. And so now I've got an IAM policy that's attached to an IAM user that I'm going to be using to authenticate with Lambda to call my private Lambda function. And so now if I go back to this page with our Lambda function on it, I'm going to copy the link address that we have there. I'm going to use Postman right here, and I'm going to make a new request, and it's going to be to that endpoint. And if I run this right now, we are getting that same forbidden message that we had last time. So the question is, how do you supply these credentials now that we've made them? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the authorization tab, and I'm going to scroll down here, and they have this AWS signature right there. And in my case, I'm going to paste in, not that, but we're going to paste in those credentials that we just saw at the last page. So we've got that access key, and then that secret access key. And this is all going to get deleted once this video is done. That too, and then just remembering that we were putting our Lambda function specifically in US East 2 because I'm not going to be able to call Lambda functions that are in different regions. And then also giving it the service name right here. If you don't give it the service name and you run this, it'll tell you you need to specify that. So I'm just going to have to go in here and put in Lambda. But just like that, you can see how we were able to successfully make a call from Postman supplying the IAM credentials that we just set up in order to reach our private Lambda function that's now using IAM authentication. So if I was running some kind of production service and I wanted to make sure that I knew exactly who would be calling my Lambda function, this is how I would do it, is by setting up an IAM role or an IAM user. But obviously you'd want to be really careful with IAM users because their credentials are basically permanent. So if anyone gets their hands on them, they can spam this and cost you a lot of money or something like that. But for sake of an introduction, that is how we can implement Lambda function URLs with IAM authentication. So thank you all for watching. I hope this is helpful stuff, and be well.